Hi, Dora. How are you? Jenny Flores, how are you? Buenas tardes, buenas tardes. Teresa Riley, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I'm not anywhere near you, but guess what? Bonnie Gomez did send me some money and said I could get some fun, dulce, and I did. And this morning's TikTok was about me eating a cake donut. But guess what, Teresa? I also like these. And happy birthday, Teresa. Who doesn't like Bavarian cream donuts? Hey, Joanne, how are you? I act like I didn't have enough chocolate kisses during Valentine's. I'm still eating chocolate. You have chocolate cake? Well, let me tell you. I got up this morning and I was going to go to Lara's because that's our favorite bakery here in Raymondville, right? And I'm driving up there. It's 8:30. And I remembered a block away from Lara's that they don't open on Mondays. And sure enough, I was at the light and I looked to the right and Lara's was closed because there was no cars. So I'm like, so I had to drive up and go to HEB and get 2 pieces of bread because I was like, I need something for this morning now that my mood was ruined by Lara's being closed. But HEB's bakery was open. So, hey, they still had cake donuts and they had Long Johns. So I got one of each. But it's Monday. And lots of things happen during the week. Somebody's house burned down here in Willacy County. And my sister was saying that they saw it because they were going to Harlingen and they were on top of the bridge and they could see the house burning. And that everybody made it out safe except for the pets. And that's gotta hurt, especially if you have pets that you've had for a long time. And how the pets didn't survive is beyond me. As long as the people did, you know. Where are you at, Jenny? Because it's hot here in Texas. Yes, it's sad. I just hope they had insurance. You know, because a lot of people in Willacy County don't. You're in Phoenix, so it's cold up there. It's freaking hot here. I mean, I have it's like a little sweatshirt, but it's got short sleeves. It might be, if it's cold in Houston, cat lady, it might be coming this way. I heard it was raining yesterday up in Texas, in the Texas City area. But I said, well, I haven't come live in a couple of days, so I'm going to go live and wish Teresa happy birthday and see what happened. Did you all get what you wanted for Valentine? I know Anna did. Anna got a couple of bundles of roses. Hi, Anna. I got myself some kisses because I had a project. my TikTok. Tú sí, hasta dinner, candlelight dinner y todo, Ana. She's one of the lucky ones. She hangs around with us, so hey, maybe it'll rub off on us, Teresa. I just don't believe the lies anymore. Hey. If I take a picture of that, let me see. If I take a picture of that 20-year-old bear that's still on the corner of my bed, Facebook will not allow me to put it up because I said I wanted to burn it. Candles and more things that you can't say. I was seeing one of the reels, and that's why I tell people, hey, Anna, don't worry about them saying that me and you are witches, because I see all the stuff on the reels on Facebook. And I was watching one of the reels, and it says that you should have an enchanted garden. I really wanted to send you it, because on this garden, it had la lengua de suegra, it had ruda, it had romero, it had albahaca. And of course, we all know that those are plants, medicinal plants that they use for a lot of different types of cleansing and stuff, right? So, but they were also saying that the ruda that you plant outside of your house on by the door or by the porch, that you should go and tie a black ribbon for protection and a red ribbon for prosperity. So on the plant that's in your pot or on the ground, you're supposed to tie this black ribbon and this red ribbon on it for protection and for prosperity. And then that you're supposed to go to the threshold of your door, the front door, and you put coarse salt across the threshold. That will stop anything from coming in that is not wanted, or anybody that has evil thoughts, you know. It's supposed to dissipate them. But hey, that's folklore. What is it called? Folklore? Old wives' tales. But a lot of people in South Texas do believe in those old wives' tales. And I've been seeing a lot of these reels using the salt for protecting your house. I saw one where they were breaking a red brick, and they were using that dust. They actually had an actual red brick, and they were breaking it with a hammer, and that you're supposed to put that all the way around the house to protect the house. And these are black people doing these reels, so it's not just Hispanics. Don't fool yourself. She's doing good. She's been depri, but she's doing okay. Yes, there's an eclipse coming. It's supposed to be a good time for cleansings. Yes, Teresa, I actually saw it on the reels, because sometimes I stop on the reels because I see like the cute babies or they'll have birds, and then I start scrolling through the reels, and you start seeing a lot of stuff that people don't think is there. Yes, Anna, she will not. If your house is well protected, she will not. If she has bad intentions, she will not cross your threshold. Um, Actually, the I think I have the real about the salt and how to protect your house with the salt, and how you're supposed to go to different corners, the corners that you don't go to all the time. And you don't have to put a whole bunch of salt. Grab some salt, coarse salt, sea salt in your hand, and grab a little pinch and go to each corner of each room and pray over that corner, pray over the room. Pray that God brings blessings and keeps people that have evil intentions towards you and your family out. And you do that on all the corners of your house. And you also do it on the threshold of your house, because these people come in with those bad intentions. And that's why, Anna, she will not come into your house if your house is being protected. And I know that you do all the candle work and stuff. So yes, your house is protected. You're protecting your house somehow from these people, and they will not cross that threshold. But there's a lot of old folk stories, and one of them is to always have a mirror reflecting towards the front door. The mirror reflects towards the front door. When that door opens, if any evil spirits see themselves in the mirror, they don't like that, so they go away. That's another one. Hi, Yaya. I already downed half of this. But there is supposed to be an eclipse sometime this week. El nudo de brujas, is that the one with the red ribbon and the 7 garlic cloves on the front door? Yes, going out. You don't sweep nothing in. And a lot of us don't do what the people in Asia do. But I mean, every culture believes in the supernatural, and every culture has a different way of looking at it. The reason that they take the shoes off at the front door and put on shoes that are only worn, slippers that are only worn inside the house, is because when you're outside, you're stepping on everything at your job, on the sidewalks, going towards your job, at the stores. You're picking up bad energy if it's there, or you're picking up energy as you're walking, and all that bad energy and stuff is on is in your shoes. So you don't want to bring any bad energy into your house. And that's why these people from the Asian culture, South Korea, North Korea, Japanese, Chinese, Taiwanese, Filipinos, all of them will take their shoes off at the door. Well, think about it, Jenny. Anywhere that you go, you're walking on energy. You're walking through energy, different types of energies, things that happened there before or things that are probably going to happen and stuff. Even walking through a mall, there's all kind of people walking through that mall, and all kind of attitudes and energy is being left there and picked up. That's why you don't go into your house with shoes. Of course, we Mexicans do it. We don't care. We're supposed to be tougher than other people. And sometimes we even say, el diablo vale más que me tenga miedo a mí. You know, the devil better be afraid of me. But, you know, it's like reality is that this, we are surrounded by different types of energies. We just got to know how to either use them or leave them alone. Your plants are also preyed upon. I don't do that, although I was thinking that I have a new ruda that I planted, and I might put the red ribbon and the black ribbon on it. That's okay, Jenny. They all love me. They like to talk about my short hair, my non-existent love life. In their eyes, it's non-existent, right? But, hey, you never know. The eclipse might bring something towards me. Hopefully it comes with a lot of zeros in the end. I just had somebody bugging me on the texting. You know how these scammers like to text about different shit, and they find out that you have something, they want it. So I have this scammer from the 281 area texting me, and they're giving me my address, right? That's not from here. And they're like, we want to buy your house. But I guess they already found out that that house is has been gifted to my daughter. So they put her name on there. But they still have my phone number, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, well, it's $500,000 if you want that property. And since you're the one that wants it and it has no for sale sign on it, you have to do the closing costs. So then I forward those two text messages, theirs and mine, to my daughter, and she's cracking up. She's sending me the LOL, right, signs. And I'm telling her, let's see what these fools want. Yeah, it's like they keep bugging me, but they think that they're going to get that property cheap, and they're not. First of all, the house that's on the property, sitting on the property, is like, I think, 9 years old. It was built in 2016. In 2016, it cost $180,000 to build the house on that property. But that's not even the tip that you want to bite on. The location, it's about location, location, location. That property is 4 blocks away from the Texas City Dike, which is the world's biggest man-made pier. It's the biggest man-made pier in the United States. It's only 4 blocks away from that pier. It's only 15 minutes away from Galveston. It's 45 minutes away from Houston. And I'm only asking them for $500,000. And so then I told my daughter, Well, I asked them for 500,000 and the closing costs. But if they wait a few more months, I'm gonna go up to 750,000 because I just heard from my brother that up in Washington, some people paid more than 1 million for a property that was smaller than that one with no house on it. So I'm figuring if people want to be down there in the snow paying $1 million for properties, they can pay that kind of money for something that's 5 blocks away from the Gulf of Mexico. It's funny to me. The location of the property is awesome. It's only 3 hours away from Louisiana. Any casino you want to hit up there, you can go and you'll be there in 3 hours. Plus, it has a 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom house that's not made like a government house. It's actually made properly. No, I'm not doing research, Jenny, because that house is within a 4 mile radius of all the petrol plants. That's why I'm not doing research. It's either they want it or the petrol mine factories there will buy people out. Once they get ready to start moving forward with whatever they plan to do, they're going to buy all those little places out anyways. So it's a waiting game. But I laugh because they still send me all the information even though the property is not in my name anymore. Thank you. That's what I mean. It's like, there's more time than money. I've been involved in several multi-million-dollar lawsuits against big corporations, and all you have to do is wait around. Eventually, somebody's going to pay. And I already told this person, you're paying the closing costs. Don't even tell me to pay the closing costs. You're the one that's looking for me, not me looking for you. Because somebody's living in that house. So then I laugh at my daughter and I tell her, so you get the money, mija. This is my idea, right? I'm selling her property that I gave her. And I told her, that was my gift and your dad's gift to you. So that's okay. It's got a price. Yes, we gave it to you, but it does have a price tag on it. I told her, sell the property, pay your house off, because she got herself a $250,000 house herself. So I told her, pay your house off and then buy another house where we can move Ophi over there. The renter that we have in that house is like in her 80s. She's a lovely lady. She has gone through a lot in the last few years. But, she's not bothering anybody in that brand new house. We don't care. We like her being there. So I told her, so you then buy another little house that'll make Ophi happy. Make sure it has a garage apartment so you can move your dad over there. And then I'll go live with you. Look, I fixed myself a house real quick. Even if I have this one, I can rent it. Yeah, if they want it that bad. I mean, they've been bugging me about that property, but it's like, I've had that property for more than 30 years. More than 30 years. So, I mean, you always have to think ahead, especially when you know that the plants are buying everything around there and you're in their zone. Sasha Mendoza, how do I know that? You're too funny. You're too funny. Um, I think because they do other things. It Mendoza. It's like the police officers here. You know, it's like I have all of them right here. Like they're so untrustworthy. From the chief and his secretary all the way down. Yes, it's a sad case. But all we do is just observe from far away. And as long as they stay away from me, I don't care. You know, what's the worst that they can say about me, Sasha? That I'm a lesbian? I know I'm not. All my queridos know I'm not. They don't know who my queridos are. They don't need to know. They're on a need to know basis about that. You know. You know, that's the shocker. All these people are Republicans that are supposed to be so Christian. But the first thing that they say when they see somebody with short hair is, she's a lesbian, she's a lesbian. So we're going to let them be. I'm not the one that's out there in the news or in the newspapers or on social media newspapers, the run and stuff about having misappropriate behavior. What I'm going to ask is, please don't call my doctor and tell her that I ate 2 big pieces of sweet bread today. She already got me mad. Let me show you all something. Talking about symptoms. Girl, Jenny, if I tell them to pay my bills, do you think they're going to pay them? It's like when my teeth were broken. These? The front 2 were broken because I picked up at work. I picked up a metal cup. I was drinking coffee and I got in a hurry because I was doing something and I hit my teeth and they broke. I had them fixed. Superficial. Well, 6 months later, it broke again. And they kept talking nasty about my teeth, and she's at her house, Sasha. And they kept talking nasty about my teeth and stuff. And I think right after I got out of working with Rakana, the first year that I got my income tax, I went and got them fixed. And I got a whole permanent. It doesn't move. But they want to say that I have dentures and stuff. I have a permanent. This is a permanent bridge, and this one is another permanent bridge. They can't afford the kind of work that I have in my teeth, but they want to be talking trash, right? So I let them. Well, I was sitting here doing a show a few months back, and I already knew that I had a silver filling in one of my back molars that had been there for more than 50 years, and it had come out. The filling came out. And it was one of the silver fillings that I had gotten when I was little. It was over 50 years old. Well, I didn't know that I still had another piece in there. And I was eating something, and I felt something in my mouth that was off. So I stopped and I took it out on a live show. I did this, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, it's a filling. It's a silver filling. I know, Teresa. But when I did that, they started saying that I'm toothless. I'm not toothless. Does anybody see me toothless? But they want to say that I'm toothless, and that's okay. I have a lot of faults, okay? According to them, Su Min Ho or I don't know, Lee Min Ho, the North Korean president, because they say I look like him, or my eyes are bulged out. They say that I'm a frog. And yes, sometimes it gets depressing because you're not doing nothing to any of them, but they're still talking trash. And you let them, and you let them, and you let them, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to keep doing my stuff because you know what? A mí no me mandan ellas. They don't own me. I can give them my Cash App, and they're still not going to send anything to it. So it doesn't matter. 3 years later, I've been without working for 3 years, and I'm still here. My bills are still here. Hey, somebody decided that they like the fact that I say that you should cover your coffee with bond, and they send me money for bond. What can I say? Thank you, Debbie, for doing it. You know, but my Cash App has been out there, and all they do is talk trash. If I had $1 for every time they talk trash about me, let me tell you, I would have made more money in the last 3 years than what I did while I was working. And now, in 3 more months, I'm fixing to retire, so I don't care. I really am not going to care. And I still pay my own bills. And I still tell anybody, what do you plan on bringing to the pitcher of Kool-Aid if I allow you to come near me? You don't think that you're only going to bring your good looks into the pitcher, do you? Because for good looks, hey, my mom and dad didn't do that bad of a job. Well, that one is interesting, Sasha. They haven't talked about the Epstein files neither. You know, and they won't send anything. Of course not. But that's okay. We don't need them. That's what they need to know. What they need to know is like they're really unnecessary. They're not needed. You know, they were there a few years ago, and they were there when the Peacocks did all the bike-a-thons and stuff, and then they flipped out, and somehow they want to still being relevant, and they're not relevant. They're not relevant to me in no way, shape, or form. Let me tell you. They want to be there meddling and stuff that's really not even any concern of theirs. But hi, Saint Martinez. But karma is a bitch. And karma eventually catches up with you because there's not any sayings that we say out there because we just want to say them. One of the best sayings in Spanish is ningún perro se va de este mundo sin pagar las que hizo. No dog will leave this world without paying what they did. And, you know, that is one thing that is so true. It's like, you know, you think that you're going to have it easy and you're just going to one day just croak and you're never going to pay for any of your sins. I hope that all the people in the Epstein files pay for what they did. Of course, everybody right now is outcrying about none of them have paid. None of them have gone to jail. None of them, they're trying to, they made them the files public, and I'm seeing people crying and talking about it. And I hear them, but at the same time, why would you put yourself through reading those files if you know that everything that's on those files is evil? Ain't that the truth? They're always going to wake up within fleas. Yeah, why would you? One of the hardest things that I think I went through as a correctional officer in training was watching a video. And I'm going to tell you all this story because it affected me to the point of I was actually crying for people I didn't know. And we were all sitting in a room. It was like 20 something of us officers sitting in a room going through some videos that they were showing us for gang related stuff. And the man just said, I want you to keep your eye on the motorcycle. And he walked out of the room. So we're all watching this video and we're seeing the motorcycle. It's far away. And he told us, I want you to keep your eye on that motorcycle, right? So I'm sitting there with my hand like this, looking at the wall, looking at the motorcycle coming closer and closer. And what you could see on this video was, you could see some mountains, but this was like a big field. No, there was no trees or nothing. So you could clearly see the motorcycle coming down. And as you're seeing the motorcycle getting closer and closer, you could see something in the back of the driver of the motorcycle bouncing up and down, bouncing up and down. But you're also seeing this field, and this field looks all white. And I'm like, but what is it? It's not sand, but it doesn't look like dirt. So you're looking at this motorcycle coming and getting closer and closer, and this thing bouncing behind the guy till he finally gets close enough and stops the motorcycle. And you see that in the back of this guy that's on the motorcycle is a body. And it was a naked body just like thrown over the motorcycle, right? So then he gets off of the motorcycle. He pulls the body and throws it down, and he takes his backpack off, and on the backpack he had a machete. And he goes on and cuts the buttocks of the body, just slashes it, and slashes the back. And then he goes, and you can see him moving away and sitting down. And then you start seeing what's happening. And that's when it hit me about what I was seeing on the ground. The buzzards started coming, a lot of buzzards, like they're trained or something. And they came towards the body, and they started pulling and pulling and eating the meat and pulling till all you could see was just like the long bones. Well, then this guy gets the long bones and continues with an axe, and there was a stone there, and he was putting the bones on the stone and cutting the bones smaller, and these birds were swallowing these bones. Do you think that I was feeling sorry for the person that was dead? Or the person that was actually cutting this body up? I was crying for the mothers of that person that was never going to see a grave. His body was already eaten by buzzards that were pooping all over this field, and it was all white. The mothers were never going to have a closed chapter for that child, whoever it was that they did that to. So do you seriously think that I want to read the Epstein files? No, I was shocked when I saw that as a correctional officer, because they were trying to put it in our head that nobody in there was our friend. That all these people that we were holding in that federal detention center in Willacy County were part of a bigger gang than what we were thinking. That all these people had the capability of doing something this evil to another human. But all I could think about was the moms not having closure for their children. And that was one of the videos that we were shown. We were shown several videos of babies being fried in oil and stuff. And believe me, the Epstein files are light compared to that. But I am not. After me seeing those type of videos for the federal detention center here in Willacy County, I will not be reading the Epstein files. I already know those people were evil, and I already know that a lot of the people that are there were made rich by us. They were made rich by us. We made them wealthy. So I'm seeing these people on TikTok crying about it and crying about what they're reading. And I'm like, why are you putting yourself through that? No. Then people wonder why people can be a hard-ass bitch. It's like, you'd be surprised what a smile can cover up. It's like, I went through a lot when I worked there. Just watching people. Trying to see how sneaky they would be inside of a prison. And they were not being that sneaky because they knew the power of the pen. I always would tell them, don't do it on my 8 hours. I don't care what you do on somebody else's 8 hours. On mine, you'll find out about the power of the pen. And that write-up is going straight to that judge that's going to judge you and give you a sentence. Exactly, Teresa. But I didn't know until I started hearing some of these people about that they were eating kids and the stuff that they were doing. Witchcraft, lighting up candles is light to whatever they were doing up there on that island. The whole thing with all that is a lot of it is legal in the United States, and we all have to realize where we're stepping over the threshold of, is it illegal? And Sasha is right. They need to invest time on other things, but they don't. And all we have to do is just sit here and laugh. Just like I'm sure Sasha knows about these police officers and what they're capable of doing. Including hiding facts away from people like drug addicted wives, wives that like to steal. You want to have coffee with me? Well, Ginny, the cake was really good. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. It was almost as good as those chocolate kisses on Saturday. But, I mean, my whole thing is, I lost a lot. They don't care. And it's okay. I didn't die. Maybe they helped me more than what they thought. I didn't die. I'm not going to die. I'm not dead yet. And I'm still talking to you guys with a smile. Because they don't own anything. And I'm not talking about houses. Some of them own houses. But they don't own me. They don't own my calmness. They don't own my peace. They don't own my nothing. If I allow them to continue to bother me, then they win. You need to make yourself a nice warm cinnamon tea or chamomile. We don't drink enough teas. Look at this one. I was up in Cadereyta. I'm not going to tell you when. And I bought this tea. And I haven't done it. Why haven't I done it? I haven't done it because I have like a few that I bought from TikTok for liver cleansing and kidney cleansing. And this is a kidney cleansing one. And I bought it. This one was 35 pesos. $3, I think. Because right now the peso is like, no, $2. It's like 17.50. 17 pesos for $1. So around $2. I can make myself a tea and start cleansing my kidneys. We don't do enough things. We need to invest time on ourselves. Why? Because nobody else is. Life is short. When was the last time that you detoxed your liver? Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about when was the last time that I drank something that was actually beneficial for my body, that will actually do something for me besides tasting good or bad? I don't know. If I don't like how they taste, I'll put star anise in there. I'll make sure I like it. It's like there's ways of bumping up a flavor so that you can like it, but still get the benefits of whatever those herbs are that are in there. When was the last time that you actually did something beneficial for your body? We're all not getting younger. I'm 61, and in a few months I'll be 62. So last year was the first time that I stopped. In September of 24, when I went to the emergency room, like you're allergic to it? Because sometimes we have allergies for certain things. But I mean, in September of 24, when I really got sick and I went and I ended up in an emergency room and I even did a TikTok on it. Why am I here holding up a bed for somebody that really needs it? I'm here. They're keeping me here. I was in denial about what was going on because I didn't feel sick. So I cannot emphasize enough that we need to start listening to people when they're doing these lives and they're giving you symptoms of what they went through or whatever. Just like Jenny Flores saying, that some of the Mexican teas swell her up. And you're like, there's got to be something in there that you're allergic to. Well, let me tell you that I have been taking glipizide since 2024. One glipizide a day, right? But in 2025, at the beginning of the year, I fell at Ophelia's house. Not the time when she recorded me and she was cracking up about it. It was inside Ophelia's house. I slipped because Ophelia's house, my mom's house, is all tile. Well, I wasn't paying attention and there was a hanger on the floor and I slipped. When I fell, I hit this part of my hand because I went like this down and I mean, it happened real fast and I fell and I didn't break any bones or anything, but the whole year, this part of my arm has been hurting and I complained to the doctor when it happened. And she said something about something up here in my rotor. Well, this last week when I went to see her, I told her, hey, I've been complaining about this arm the whole year. The pain is not going anywhere. I'm now taking 4 Aleve in the morning and 4 Aleve at night because the pain is there. I told her, and it's not up here. It's in the middle of, she's like, yeah, that's where the pain's going to be. I told her, well, it's getting to the point where I can barely move my arm. I have to think about how I'm going to move myself so that my arm won't be hurting me that much. Hi, Cinder. So she said, I have to change a number in your blood. So she changed the glipizide, and let me show you all how little this pill is. And this happened just barely Thursday. Why am I telling you all this? This is glipizide. Look how little this pill is. This is lisinopril. This one is smaller than the lisinopril. She said, I need to change one of your numbers. Because I told her, do I have one foot in the grave and another one on a banana peel? And she looked at me and she's like, every time you come here, you're always telling me this. And I'm like, well, every time I come here, you say something about these numbers. You're the one that knows those numbers, not me. So she said she couldn't send me to no ortho doctor about my shoulder because this number was not at the right level that she needed it on. So she changed that little pill. That glipizide pill was changed to take one at night and take one in the morning. Did you all see how small that pill was? That pill was that small. So I started Friday morning and Friday night, Saturday morning and Saturday night. By Sunday morning, guess what happened? That was only 4 pills. This whole wrist was swollen and hurting. And the only change in the medication was 1 extra glipizide pill being taken. Did I still take it this morning? Yes, I still took it this morning. Because I texted my daughter and I told my sisters what happened. And I still took it because I told my sisters I'm going to take it 2 more days, and if by Wednesday this swelling on my left hand doesn't go down, I'm going to call that doctor's office and do a walk-in, because the only change was one little pill, and this happened. And I told her, I have to ask you that if I'm halfway in the grave or halfway out on a banana peel, because my body, it's not you, doctor, it's my body that's being the traitor here. So you're the one that knows how to control those numbers, and I'm going to do what you're telling me to do to try to control the numbers and see if we can get somewhere with the pain that I'm having on this shoulder. But my body is being a traitor, and I cannot stop my body from being so treacherous. It doesn't have nothing to do with you. If I didn't trust what you were doing, I wouldn't be here. But we are so accustomed to doing what doctors tell us to do, but we also need to pay attention. And if you've been taking the same pills for over 2 years or a year and a half, and all they did was change one little pill that small, and in 2 days it did that, there's a problem if it continues. So always, look at what we're saying when we're talking to you between the laughs and the this happened here and that happened there. Look at what we're telling you, because if it happens to you, you need to be very aware, and you need to know how to call your doctor real quick. I wouldn't be telling you all half of the stuff that's happening to me if I didn't care about the people that are actually watching my show to watch because they're concerned or because they want to learn something. I don't care about those people in the back that are just here to criticize and be hateful. I don't care about that. I care about telling you what's going on with me that wasn't happening before, because we learn by experience. Okay? I'm going to talk to y'all later. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everybody.